The 2022 World Cup in Qatar, there's still talk of that being played during the winter months for the cooler temperature. Do you approve of this?
But do you want that the people they come with 60 degrees in Qatar in July, June?
So you think it could be a
You think that
idea?
it was very nice to stay in the hotel at 5 o'clock in the evening in South Africa because it was very cold? I think it's a big fest in the country, and if the people they don't come and they can stay outside to enjoy their life, I think it's not good. I think we have to know where is the best moment for this beautiful World Cup. Is the most important thing in the football, the World Cup, and we have to play when is a good moment. And if we play in winter, it will be not a problem. If we think that some years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, to organize that instead to stop in May. You play until June and then you stop in December. Where is the problem?
So you're saying you approve of Qatar as the host and you'd consider moving UEFA competitions to help?
Of course. We have to think everybody about what could be better for the World Cup in Qatar. How you can bring the people and to say you will go in June in Qatar when it's 50 degrees. Alors never these countries they will receive the World Cup if we play with 50, 60 degrees, because it's not a question of the player with a stadium who are climatized, but the people they come 3 weeks or 2 weeks with 60 degrees, they never go outside the hotel. It's not correct, and it's why we have to think about what could be the best moment for the World Cup, because it's the best moment in the football, in the year of the football, and I think why not in a better moment.
And it was the right decision, you think, for FIFA to take the tournament to Qatar, to the Middle East?
Not for everybody, but
it's done.
But for me, I vote for Qatar because I think it was nice to go in another part of the world with people who never received the World Cup. They lost 5 times with Morocco, with Egypt. I think it was nice to come, like Russia in Europe. They never received in the east of Europe the World Cup. I think it was a good decision. But now I think we have to adapt when is the best moment and where is the best moment to play this World Cup in Qatar.
Mr. Platini, we're in Ukraine. The tournament is 7 months away. Are you happy with the progress in Poland and in Ukraine?
Of course. It's a long process and difficult process, but it's nice. It's nice because they make a big effort about the infrastructures, and these efforts will create a big boost for Poland and Ukraine for the next years. And then they build the infrastructure for what is necessary for the Euro, and the stadiums, the hospitals, the hotels. Some hotels, not a lot because of the crisis in Ukraine. But we are in a good mood because of that, and I think what will be the main thing of Poland and Ukraine will be the atmosphere. For the fans, they will love football and they will love atmosphere. It will be a great moment.
It hasn't always been easy and straightforward having the tournament in Poland and Ukraine. Were you worried?
It was not easy. It was not easy. It was easy in Poland, but it was less easy in Ukraine. Because of the country, because it's an ex-Soviet Union country. There was a crisis. There was some political problems, and it was not easy from the beginning, essentially. But they have done a lot, and now we are very satisfied about what they have done during these last years.
But it felt like you had to intervene and say, please, quicker.
Well, at some moments we think about how we can change countries, because it was difficult and there was too many problems, and then there is a new philosophy, and they have done a lot, and we are very satisfied now.
So you had to think about changing countries at
Yes, we had. Of course, we have to think because it's always in the beginning of the process. Then you have to decide what we can do, because if you have to change country, we have to change 2 or 3 years ago, not 6 months. But okay, it's very nice. But it was my job to think about that.
Things have been pretty smooth for UEFA, but not so for FIFA. You work closely with FIFA. It's been a very, very difficult year for them. That must sadden you, that it's been so difficult for the world governing body. Corruption.
Yes, it's a tough year. It's tough from the decision of the World Cup from this moment until now, going through the election of the president. It was tough, but okay. There are many investigations and many people, and it's not a good moment. But let's see the things. Let's better take this decision, and it's a FIFA matter. It's not a UEFA matter. We have not European people involved in all these matters, but we are looking very strictly what's happened in FIFA. Yes.
Very clearly on Mr. Blatter, you have to have a relationship with him. Do you feel perhaps he might have considered his own position this year as the man in charge when there were so many problems? Should he perhaps have resigned?
Well, Mr. Blatter has a big experience about FIFA because he is in FIFA from 31 years. But he was clumsy these last moments about racism, and he's not a racist. We know very well, I know very well Mr. Blatter. Okay, that now he is elected for 4 years. He was elected not so long time. He was elected some months ago, and if he wants to stay, he will stay.
You mentioned racism. This is a big fight for you and UEFA. You are trying, and you need to.
It's a fight for everybody. To eliminate it is complicated, but to fight, and we do a lot to fight. We do some campaigns, of course, but in our regulations we put some decisions that the referee can take in case of racism in the stadium. He can stop the game for some minutes, one time, second time, and then to stop definitely the game. And when the game, it's when we make some announcement about that, the racism is going down because the people, they don't want. And there is always some people, they are working for racism, and many are working against the racism, and we have to have a politic of tolerance zero, respect the fans, respect the players, respect the coaches, respect the administrative, respect against everybody. And it's what is our statutes.
Would you ever ban a country, ban a team, say you are not playing because your fans have shouted racism?
I would like to say one thing. In our structures, I can't not decide because we have some independent disciplinary committees, and they will decide what they want. There could be some recommendation of the executive committee, but it's only a recommendation because that is totally independent, and they will take their decision and their responsibility in respect their morality, and etc., etc., etc.
Are you confident there'll be no racism or indeed hooliganism during the European Championship?
That is a matter of the state of Poland and Ukraine. It's a matter of the police. It's a matter. I am sure they will work a lot that we can have a beautiful competition. And I think that the authorities are very cautious about what could be happen in Poland and Ukraine. But I have no doubt that everything will be clean.
Many people love club football so much, the Champions League, that sometimes there's a threat to international football and people prioritise clubs.
No, I am not. No. I totally disagree with what you say, because if you look at the audience at the TV, the football of the national team is always more important than the football of the clubs. And the final tournament or the World Cup of the Euro is very has big success. Perhaps it's not the same public. It's another public, more linked to the National Association football, but the audience are very important. I said last time in Spain it was 80%. They look at the World Cup or the Euro, and it's not the same for the clubs. It's different.
The Champions League is such a wonderful ongoing success, isn't it?
Yes, so Champions League is a very wonderful competition. The Euro is a very wonderful competition. Sometimes you have the same players. It's why it's so important. But okay, it's two different competitions. One you represent your club, and one represent your national association. That is another spirit.
This is a chance to ask you. So many times people say, Mr. Platini, we think that maybe he doesn't like the success of the Premier League so much. What do you think about the Premier League?
I love the Premier League. I love the football of England. I love the fans in England. But they are in another spirit. When I was, where I was surprised, because it's perhaps not the same mentality than the French people. When I was surprised is when some Russian or some Emirati or some American, they come to buy the clubs. You know, is for me to buy a club, I think the clubs belong to the identity of the fans. It's not a question of that. It's why they say that I don't like. But you know, there's always a big rivalry from the past, from England and France. But no, I love this football. It's a very nice football. The fans are wonderful in England, and it's beautiful. So it's a good football.
Can I ask you about clubs at the moment? So many people are interested in things like the finance. UEFA has new rules. You say that teams must be making sure that the finances are okay, and that the rules mean that some teams could be in danger of ultimately being eliminated.
Yes,
would you ever do this?
We are not here to fight against the clubs. We are here to find some new finance system with the clubs to help the clubs not to go to the bankrupts, not to go to the bankrupt, and that is important for us. And they understand our message. We are not here to kill the clubs. We are here to help them, and they know that. Is why we have make meetings all together from the beginning, and they know the rules. We put the rules all together.
But if a club breaks the rules or bends the rules, and there are allegations that clubs are trying to do this to circumnavigate around those rules, would you ultimately say, look, you might be kicked out of the competition if you do that?
I don't know. That will be the independent panel of experts who will decide that. The disciplinary committee will decide that. It's not a matter of me. Perhaps you can find many solutions before to kick them out of the competition. I think it's a matter to help them. At the end, perhaps it will be success like that. But it's not the volunteer of the UEFA to make problems to the club. We work together to regulate the system, and at the end we will go to this break-even system.
And what about the new clubs with money that has come from petrodollars, money that has come from the Middle East?
I like that the clubs have the money. I never speak about that. I always said, because I am an old man now, I always said that, you know, the football was based on the identity. But football is changing, and I said that for the Emirati when they come in Manchester City, but I said that before for the Russian when they come in England, or for the American when they come in England. And I said the same when the Qataris they come. I think it's a new evolution. It's more a political problem than a football problem, and okay. Perhaps it's the new football of the future. I have nothing to say. I am not. I could be surprised, but his life is like that. It could be the new football. It's more a problem of the politicians than a problem of the football people.